Welcome to SpeedGaming, as I just recently heard it called, SpeedGaming Prime. As we have Tony versus Andy in Game 2 of SMZ3. My name is Bond, just Bond. It was a bad joke, but I went with it. And we are going to get this started right now. That's awesome. And just as a disclaimer right off the bat, just want to make sure everybody's tracking. This is my first time tracking, but I didn't see any commentators signed up, so I thought, the heck, let's try it out. Is Bond SMZ3 Bond? Yeah, that won't work. I'll get copyrighted, guaranteed. But yeah, we're starting off with the boots, which I think is awesome in this one, and they're gonna do what most do to start this out and take a bath, or just jump into the water and see what's on the island. We got Andy going back to the house, and Tony starting off going straight to Sahasrara. I always say that wrong, but I'm sticking with it. If you missed the last game, I don't want to spoil anything for you. I do think it was an awesome game that you should go watch, but I have a feeling both runners are going to be a little bit more adamant about checking everything. That's all I'll say on that one, right? They definitely missed a few things, so it went back and forth, but in the end, obviously, somebody won. I don't see where it says somebody did win, so I don't want to spoil it, just in case. But with that in mind, we're getting some of the basic checks out to start with right now. We're going to see a tree pool on Andy's side, and we get bombs. That is amazing. One of the best things you can get from the tree pool is bombs, and then they get 8 each. So that's amazing right there. Getting that magic. Tony getting the full drop, just like Andy got earlier. And they're just getting slowly richer and richer, which is awesome. Okay. Yes, Tony did win, but I didn't want to spoil it for you on that one. As far as my information on commentary, just so you know, I don't have Twitch. Like I don't do it, so you can just leave it blank. We'll put it as a mystery. All right, we're checking the boots on the left side over here with Tony. And Tony finds, ooh, ice rod. That's very nice. Okay. All right. We got the ice rod. We're not going to say that haunted anybody last game, but it starts with Andy. Yeah, he had some issues with that one, so he'll be happy to get that one, hopefully. The E-Tank just discovered bombs on Tony's side, which is amazing right there. Zanny goes down to the dungeon, try and free the princess that is not in this castle. Ooh, what was that for Tony? I didn't see what was on a ledge. Bomb upgrade, okay. Alright. Thank you. Nice. Yeah. And some health. And, oh, we got a sword early. Very nice. It's going to help do some dark rooms if we don't get a lantern anytime soon. And you're going down to Mont Palace. See what we got in here. Okay. Just some basic rubies. Good, yeah. I always think it's interesting how you can have both runners go completely separate routes, yet somewhere around the 10-minute mark, they're going to kind of line back up, obviously depending on what they get. It's always cool to see them just kind of falling back into place. Andy getting one of the best beams right there with the X-ray beam. That's awesome. And Tony found book, which is good. That should help out. Power bombs. I think we found everything as far as Super Metroid. Yes. We do have Ike here on the tracker, so I've obviously already offended him, so that's not good. But he is going to take care of that job for me, so I don't have to do it. Alright, so we definitely will have everything we need to at least start opening doors and that kind of stuff for Super Metroid side. We're just finding some money right now. We got gravity suit, which is awesome. Money and some E-tank. Alright. So we got some gravity, we got some energy. That's good. Can't morph yet, but we are getting on our way, so that's awesome. Alright. We got a nice scam vendor right there. That's awesome. Give him 100, give back 20. Obviously, we got a bunch of missiles, that's good. Andy just did another tree pull and got way less than he was hoping for. But so far, it does look like they have enough money to work on that. Good. Get to check out the library real quick. See what's on that ledge. Bookshelf. Not worth. Oh well. And he's about to get his sword, which is awesome. I'm sure he'll be relieved to see that so early on. Tony is not going to peek. He's just going to go straight for it. Potentially wasting a whole 6 seconds of his time. But it was not a waste. He has more energy. Alright, both saving and quitting. Got Andy at the house. Tony at the house. Andy going down. Tony going down. Alright, Tony's heading over swamp. Good. And he's gonna get the initial hype cave. Potentially. We got some mirror. That's good. Piece of heart. Bombs. Another piece of heart. Power bomb. Alright. So, mirror, obviously, that's good. Especially get early. Doesn't do you much good until you get the pearl to help out. But for now, good start. Tony going for X-ray. Also upsetting Iker. I'm sure that will be in any kind of post-game interview about how early they decided to just ruin the game. That's unfortunate. And Tony using ice effectively-ish. That's good. Alright, we're going to see some water walk. Or water run, I guess. Always found this pretty cool. Almost to the point that I think when runners do SMZ3, if they don't get that, they are very upset. So that'll be good. Did you get some bombs? Super missiles on Andy's side. Doesn't have enough for Dora, so he's gonna go back to under the bridge. That should be good. It was a piece of heart in Ice Cave. Good to know. Totally missed that the first time. And another piece of heart. A whole lot of love, but not a lot of progression. So with that in mind, and he's going to go to the sanctuary and obviously go that way, going left. I'm not sure where Andy's going. Oh, he didn't go downstairs? Oh, totally missed that. Never go that way. Yep. But it's a good thing he did, because he got that boot, and potentially they needed a quake. So that's good. We'll see where Tony goes now. Tony's gonna go in the castle. Okay. Do the top side. That's good. He's rich enough, but he'll get his gravity and the E. There it is. All right. We're stacking up right now. That's good. This is definitely interesting doing commentary. This is my first time. But you know what they say about a race with no commentators? Nothing. There's no commentator. Thank you. I'll be here all day. With that in mind, and he's in the chicken hut getting some missiles. And having sword early definitely makes all these checks a lot easier. Some people get bullied around in this one. Oh. But with Andy, I think he was like the 3 or 4 seed. So he's definitely the higher seed than Tony, but Tony did what was necessary to pull it out. Again, if you haven't seen race 1, it was awesome. Okay, Andy was 3 seeds, so that's good. But no, yeah, so Tony doing what was necessary. You know, they both probably panicked throughout the race just because they were missing that one thing just to get into the finish line. So again, I think they're going to probably cover their bases a little bit more. Probably not do as many skips as they did last time, especially Andy. You know, he will probably ensure that certain dungeons on hilltops are covered specifically. All right, we got green pennant for Skull Woods, so that's good. Maybe we'll get lucky and get a ped seed. All right, we got grapple, power bombs, and then super missiles. That's good. Yes. And he's gonna go. Oh, he's already gonna go into Eastern just to start it out. Get a few checks in there. While Tony heads down from the house. More to be at Terminator. It would be unfortunate, seeing as we're going to be a minute before they go into Super Metroid. Tony's going to try and use that book to his advantage right off the bat. And then I say that, and there's Morph. Okay, we'll stop that one. But Andy's got Morph down in Eastern, while Tony's going to go to Desert the legitimate way, which is just weird. Always do Eastern, no doubt. But at least when you're doing Desert Palace, you don't have to do it without boots, because doing Desert Palace without boots, some would consider painful, because it is slow. We haven't found anything specifically yet to help them along. Tony's just going to follow that right there. Small key. And he's got a big key, so he'll check the big chest. Ooh, silver's right off the bat. Always found it interesting that SMZ3 doesn't do bow progression. I think it's the only one that doesn't do bow progression. Alright. Andy's looking a little lost. That's unfortunate. But he's pressing on anyways. So that's good. Alright. Tony's got a fire source with a lantern. That's good. So he can, if he wants, finish Desert right off the bat and get the first crystal. Oh no, never mind. He doesn't have gloves. He can't do that. Stand corrected. While Tony is utilizing the book to his advantage to get some progression, got Andy heading to Super Metroid, going up right away. Old strategy cotton. And I have a feeling Tony's going to follow suit here once he gets his morph ball. He is pretty free with screw. That is true. That was not meant to rhyme. I'm going to think about that before I do that again. Alright. And he already has Master Sword. Pretty much just a free game, so that's nice. I don't think he really needs anything else now that he has Master Sword. So. Half magic, very nice. That is definitely something that runners appreciate, although not necessary to finish. Always a blessing in disguise. I'm going to go through Eastern, eventually get the morph. See if he leaves right away or if he finishes it out. Regaling to the past. That is nice. How is it in disguise? That's a fair question. And moving on, we have... No, I got nothing. But you're right. Andy... Okay. This game. What is this? And hookshot? Tempered and hookshot. Right off the bat. Well, now that they have everything to finish the game, minus a few items, give or take. No, those are great finds. And that is a good point. It's brought up in chat with Vidi is that this game does use progression. So if you've never seen this before, it does require certain items to progress further in the game. And what Andy did was technically not in logic, and so it needs speed or speed booster to progress and get the hook shot. So that's good to know for the audience watching, but also good for the runners as well, because then they know that speed booster, has to be available before anything that the hook shot requires, as far as like Swamp Palace as an example. So if Swamp Palace is required, they know that speed booster has to be available before they could even finish that dungeon. So that's good. Oh, Well, there you go. Swamp Palace is in the chat today. That's good. We'll see if we get any other dungeons to join us. No one wants you in logic. Not that they don't want you in logic. They just want you to be done as fast as possible, right? Get in, do your thing, and go. And Swamp Palace is famous, so that's nice. All right, Tony has joined. We'll see if he takes the same route. He's going to take the same route. Well, now we have both best beams for Super Metroid, as Andy has found Phaser. Isn't that nice? Watching a Super Metroid race earlier where Phaser was the only beam outside of Charge Beam, and it really did not help out a lot. Unfortunately, Phaser does not improve the beam as much as we would hope. So hopefully Andy will get some other beams to go along with it. I realize I've just upset every Phaser beam enthusiast out there, but just saying how it is, you know? Tony getting his Master Sword. Andy is going to go for the Wave Gate. Instead of using Wave, going to use a Super Missile. There's got to be more than 5 Phaser enthusiasts out there. Wave Gate glitch, that's good. I've tried Wave Gate glitch before. I think I had like 20-minute supers like Andy has. After I used all 20, I didn't ever try it again, so that was nice. We'll just wait for Wave for me in the future. So there you go. Andy is zooming through here, so that is good. Andy isn't going to go check for speed booster stuff because he doesn't have speed booster. Speed booster. Although Tony is not as high ranked as Andy, watching him play last night, he definitely has got some movement. Don't get me wrong, Andy definitely has a lot more practice, and some would say some more skill. But Tony definitely was pulling out the moves that was necessary to, break logic, do what they had to do. So there's a reason Tony is in the playoffs. That's awesome. And he's getting more money. Always find it interesting when runners will be right next to something that's easily to get, but they still skip it. I understand why they do it, but I don't understand why. More money, but wait, there's more. And super missiles. Alright. That's the one cool thing about SMZ3 is that usually you get a lot of whatever is necessary to finish the game. Especially since SMZ3, you're probably gonna 100% or get very close of getting all the items. No one likes fanfare, eats up too much time. That is true. It does eat up, I think, in this one, half a second. So, it really starts to add up. It is funny to go from, there's a Super Metroid randomizer, map randomizer going on right now. And everything in that, in SM, is faster. Going up and down those and all that kind of stuff. And so when you see it go really slow, technically the normal speed in the game, you're like, wow. Yeah, you get used to the speeds of the map rando, and I imagine even Andy, because Andy's also in it. I think, pretty sure he is. He's probably just taking a nap while he waits for it to go up and down. And Andy does do a lot of map rando. He was recently in AGDQ. That was a fun one to watch. If you've never heard of that, awesome games done quick. Hopefully that's not wrong to advertise, but it is fun to watch those. If you've never done that before and you enjoy watching people do things fast, you should go check it out. Ah, yes, the airships, Super Mario Bros. 3, yes. No thank you. Oh, we're not going to see Bomb Chorizo today. That is unfortunate. He was holding the goods, just not the goods enough. Tony's going to keep following in Andy's footsteps on this one. We'll see if he goes up as well. And he is going to. So it does look like most likely both runners are going to go do wreck ship right off the bat, which is smart. The ability to finish it, get it done with, take care of Fantoon, or get trolled by Fantoon. Either way, it's an enjoyment for the watchers. And he does not go to Fantoon, and I instantly eat all my words. That's what I get for presuming that's going to happen. That is a good point. Zaru. Saving wreck ship for speed. That way you can literally do everything. That is a good point. Very true. Both for Zaro and Sabbath bring up some good points. The wreck ship is a trendy skip, as you can reset the ship and go straight there. That is a good point. I don't think I've seen that in a minute, though. It has been a while since I've seen somebody do wreck ship last, or like very late into the game. So that'd be cool to see mix up on that one. Tony is still pleading all of those. Andy is going to use his grapple, which is a beam. I've heard and read. All right, what do we got? Back at X-ray. What was that? Oh, heart piece. Thank you. One thing chat is good for, which is multiple things, by the way, but one thing chat is good for, is coming up with some interesting names for some of the pieces that have been around for the whole entirety of the game, so we appreciate that. And he does not fall down the hole, so that's good. And gets rewarded with 10 arrows. All right. See if Andy's just gonna go through. Break the tube. That's good. Tony now is gonna make a decision. See if Tony goes to wreck ship, goes down and follows also again in Andy's footsteps. Then he's gonna go say hi to Kraid, which is nice. Sure, it feels very lonely. And Tony, he is gonna do wreck ship, just like I called. Obviously, the first time it was not an error on any other time, so that's good. We'll see Andy go for the quick kill. Well, Tony is not getting rewarded for the wreck ship traverse so far. Andy says hi and then says bye. Does not take out to the prom, which is unfortunate. Gets rewarded with a space jump, which is very nice. Always good. Kraid was a Super Metroid token, so that obviously is not even randomized. That's unfortunate. If you're new to this, the token is basically how they, moderators, editors, designers, developers, the people that made SMZ3, that's how they made it so that you can have tokens on any of the Link to the Past bosses and vice versa. So that's good, which is a cool concept. I think in the original iteration that was not possible, so that's pretty cool to see as that has evolved over time. A lot of the stuff is pretty cool to see how it's evolved over time. Tony is also taking on a boss right now, taking on Fantoon. Tony has decided to spend more time with Fantoon than Andy did with Kraid, so that's nice. Spending time with the ghost. Yes. Solo is one of the masters of this. And a lot of work. Which is, again, pretty cool. Tony did a super a little too early. Although Fantoon was red, it's not that red. Now, Tony gets to do a certain type of dance. It's an interpretive dance. It's called the Nintendo Power Dance, and most are not for it, but he's going with it. Andy, on the other hand, has gone back to Link to the Past, and is going up the mountain. He did not get his lamp, so he is scared of going into the dark. But he does find Speed Booster. And Andy is going to, some would call it cheating, others wouldn't, but he's going to get Speed Booster by hovering across, so that's good. So Andy has Speed Booster, while Tony has just finished Fantoon. Now Tony gets the joy of searching all wrecked ship for items. Quickshot is now in logic, correct. Hammer, oh, that is a nice big find. I have no doubt Tony is enjoying finding that early rather than spending a longer time looking for it. So that's good. Tony will enjoy that. While Andy is playing around in the dark with an old man, Andy will not miss Hammer this time. Well, it depends on how long he waits before he goes back. Oh, was that? My bad. Hopefully he does wreck ship sooner rather than later. Because now we have Varia as well. That's 2 huge finds. It is making all of Super Metroid very accessible. So that's going to be interesting. While Andy does find the cape. This is good. Tony is getting just a lot of progression to finish Super Metroid, which makes it a lot easier for him to stay in there. We'll see. Is Tony leaving? Interesting. Alright, well Tony has felt that they have gotten everything that they need out of Wreck Ship. So they're going to do the skip for the long stuff upstairs. Which, you know, nothing wrong with that. Just an interesting call. He does peek, see what top of Wreck Ship has, at least in that part, which was nothing, but we'll see if this pays off. Really hope it does not do anything to him. Alright, Tony is in a very good position. Now, Floating Island was they both have Ice Beam. We'll see what Andy does now. That speed booster probably is going to be an attractive sign to go over to Wreck Ship. And check power bomb area up here. And, ooh, very nice. Okay. Oh no. That leads me to believe that that's going to be a minute before Tony finds the bow. So that is going to be interesting. Andy does look like he's going over to Wreck Ship. Hopefully Tony's going to get just sucked into going further and further into Super Metroid. So it is probably going to be a while before Tony finds that, which is unfortunate. And if you watched last game, kind of a same situation. So that's true, Zaro. So again, it's those isolated checks makes SMZ3 both fun to watch because of the surprises that come out, but also could be daunting for the runners if they don't get to see them. But we'll see. Tony is basically following what Andy did not too long ago, and then Andy is going to do what Tony did not too long ago. All right, and he gets his turn at Fantoon, so that should be fun. See how long Andy decides to dance. And he tries to go for that stutter step. Trying to get more missiles in there. That's true. Andy did not go to Hera. I think the speed booster was calling to him. Nice two-phase for Andy right there. Using the super missile when the appropriate amount of redness was on there. Nightgear brings up a great point. There was no fire source. If there's one thing that Andy will probably not do this race is not check Hera without a fire source. All right, Tony is going to take care of Kraid real quick, I'm sure. Or not. Four super is very nice. All right, Andy gets his hammer while Tony finishes Kraid and gets the Ridley token. Lamp, first fire source, was in Desert Palace, which Tony checked real early because they got the book. So Andy is saving, implying that he's going to go check Wreck Ship Reserve, see if there's anything good over there, and if there's not, just teleport back. Wreck Ship E-Tank save. Fair point. Not reserve. Math is hard. But I'm sure Andy will be very happy to see this beauty. Oh, maybe not. I like that video. I'll try to remember that. All right. So Andy's going to take that. We'll see if Andy decides to leave early or if Andy's going to go up top and check a few of those. Andy is going up. Well, Tony is going to check on ice, see if there is anything of value. Crew attack in this room is kind of like a cheat code, so that's nice. While Andy bullies robots, Tony is going to head back. There's some money at the end of the line for Andy. Tony's going to check high jump area. Andy is using X-ray, which who would have thunk, right? And all right, so other than money and a super missile, looks like top of wreck ship is leaning out to be a bust. But Andy is going to go take a coffee break real quick. Tony rescues the old man and is going to... We'll see how far Tony goes up Death Mountain. If Tony goes into Hera because having the fire source. By the way, this pug sitting here facing the Chozo is hilarious, in my opinion. But I'm easily amused, though. Alright, Tony's going up. That was nothing. Alright, come on. Be something good. For Andy. What do we got? Alright. Well. You can catch fairies now. So there you go. Alright. Go mode indeed. So there you go. Tony's gonna get the speed booster. Did not hover. I thought that was just standard text, so that's amazing. But is going to bomb jump across. So that's cool. Nice. Alright. So I'm going to utilize that mirror to go check Hera, and I imagine the tablet as well. As we can see there, Skullwoods was a pendant. And luckily, Ikir is a lot better at tracking than I am, and will tell us what all the other ones were. Alright. So Ether Tablet was a bust. Andy's up on the mountain as well. Was Andy going to go to Hera? Pretty cool. Nope. Got him. If you did not know, every time they go between Super Metroid and Link to the Past, it saves the game. So, that's cool. Good way to make sure you save. Tony doing, I forget what it's called, but it is cool how that was done, because before it was a bomb jump, and now they just go really fast, as long as they have the hook shot, so that's always cool. Airpot. Thank you, guys. Alright. Tony's gonna fight the first Zelda boss. So, with Tempered, just... I'll stop talking. You guys saw nothing? I was a little ahead of myself. Now Tony is going to fight the first Zelda boss for the first time. Sorry, I just keep going a little ahead of myself. Just give me a second to collect and compose myself. Alright, so for the first time, we're going to see Moldorm taken on. Good swing. And, like I said, with Tempered, easy. Easy. I like it. Alright. So Tony gets the second crystal for him. That's awesome. It was a first try. I apologize for leaning too far into the future. Sometimes I get ahead of myself. It's often why I trip. Bad jokes are going to keep coming, people. Sorry. Ooh, an Andy finds glove. That is nice. We got our first glove. Glove in SMZ3 is progression, so it will always be first one. That brings up a good point. We still haven't seen Pearl, so they can survive in the overworld. We'll see how long it takes for them to find that. When he finishes the reserve tank, they do seem to be pretty healthy, so that's good. Power glove. That is what it's called. Obviously, I knew that, so it's fine. Ooh, Cane of Samaria. Very nice. Alright. So that's good for Andy. 2 big Link to the Past items. Lich Stick. Very nice. Yep. Especially a nice palace. And Swamp Palace. There we are, making Swamp Palace famous again. And you already checked these, so Tony's just following in the footsteps. Definitely plenty of reserves, which is amazing. Too many doorways. Wow! What is Upper Norfair? We got the flute as well. We won't say no to supers. So that's good. But Upper Norfair is stacked for Link to the Past. That is awesome. And I realize Flute doesn't play as big of a deal for this, especially with Meyer being a pendant, but still awesome to have. And we know we'll at least be able to stand up for the anthem eventually as they go through. So that's good. Does look like Tony is going to get everything that Andy just got. So that's good. Not too far behind. They're pretty neck and neck with each other. Obviously, Tony's got 1 crystal above Andy right now. We've seen how fast that goes through. Andy is going up. Could Andy be going to Meridia? Looks like it. And he's going for the short charge. Which, although a lot of runners do it, is not the easiest thing in the world. So, still pretty cool. Fortunately, didn't get him much, but still cool to see. Tony's going to be happy with what he finds here. Talked about when Andy did his speed. I didn't actually see what that was. I don't think it's anything because Ike here hasn't marked it off. So, and Ike here we trust. Oh, it was Moon Pearl. All right. Very nice. Okay, I see it now. He was getting there. Very nice. So we got Moon Pearl. We have Dark World access. So I imagine after Andy does some Meridia stuff, he's heading over there. So that's good. I'll have to search for that. That's right, Viddy. I think that's probably what he's thinking about right now, in the hopes that he was going to find that Moon Pearl. So that's good. Alright, Alright, checking the hole, and we just got a lot of red rubies. Alright. Tony kinda looks like... Never mind. I wasn't going to say anyone's name, obviously. Alright. So Tony is going to head up to Meridia, is what it looks like right now. As Andy does some speed strats, just gotta go fast. And he is gonna head up. Nope, he's gonna save so we can check these sand pits. Sand pits sometimes are amazing. Most times are not. But it is impressive to see runners check sand pits when they don't have gravity. And they gotta do like underwater wall jumps or something like that. It is hard tech. I don't know a lot of runners that can do it, but it is pretty cool to see when it is done. Unfortunately, nothing in the left sand pit. So Andy will reset and do the right sand pit. Tony's checking out Mama Turtle's area. Nice vanilla E-tank and missile. Alright. Unfortunately, we are not playing a randomized seed anymore. Bow was... I don't remember what it's called, but it's above the landing site. Where you gotta use the power bomb to get in. Fortunately, Tony did not check that area. PBs in the sky. Sky PBs, yeah. I hope that he does decide to check it. Doesn't wait too long, because bow is kind of a haunting item for Tony, at least in this series so far. But Tony does get his Moon Pearl, and Andy did skip the red boomerang, so unfortunately Andy will not be very good at collecting things. Unfortunate. Andy has decided that he needs multiple coffee breaks by doing the Chozo earlier, and now Big Diesel. Yes. Tony's still searching for something. So rewarded in Upper Norfair. Probably feeling a little let down with all this. Andy will take that. He will not. So unfortunately, we will not have any high jump boots, although it is not necessary. Super Metroid runners sure do love it. Yeah, you can tell he thought about that for a second. He's like, I'm gonna get that. He's like, no. So Andy will have tiny jumps instead of high jumps. All right. Bugs do not know how to jump. That's true. I should be careful saying that in this room. Probably some pug spies. But the worm gets finished off real quick with all those super missiles. That is awesome. Fun fact, if you leave that room too early while that wall is collapsing, it will still be there if you go back in it. I'm not going to say I found that out the hard way, but somebody may have. So that was unfortunate. Andy is going back for the shovel. Amazing. He won't get high jump boots, but he'll get the shovel. Priorities. That's unfortunate. I know. I was just joking. This room, whole lot fun, more fun, with space jump. What? He just digs this? Digs that item? That sounds like a joke I would make. So thank you, Coughlin. That's amazing. Luckily, Chet has a good sense of humor, so obviously it respects the humor coming from everyone until he makes that pun. It's a good thing you guys typed that in chat, because if I said that out loud, what's the word? Mutiny? It would just be bad. So that's good. But Andy, before we could even talk about it, finishes off Dragon. Gets the first crystal for him, so that's good. And then gets rewarded with Spring Ball. So obviously, GG's. That's nice. And so Andy is going to... We'll see how much Andy explores now that Dragon is Dragon. Go back for high jump. That is a good point. Now he can easily take care of that maze. That save looked a little glitchy. Thank you, Sabbath. It would not be a good idea for both of us to be on comms, because one of us would get voted off the island, or both of us. Never mind. We're having three-way comms. Sabbath, Fred, or Coughlin. Sorry. We're just... It would just be bad jokes the whole time. We wouldn't even talk about the game anymore. So, that'd be unfortunate. Kala, this seed is pretty straightforward so far. Primarily in Super Metroid. Upper Norfair was stacked. And we haven't visited Lower Norfair in a while. Or yet, in a while. Andy is checking Plasma. And I'm sure he's going to find something amazing. While Tony takes on Dragon, and Dre is gone. Andy was upset about that heart piece, but he luckily saved right after Dragon, so quick. Doesn't have to go all the way back through. Tony is not skipping Spring Ball. He probably thought about it, but he knew chat would revolt, so that's good. Tony, by the way, he did get his second crystal, so that is good for him. Still technically in the lead, but honestly, these guys are neck and neck so far. Andy does not like heart pieces. He's like, what's the point of having a challenge in Link to the Past? So... Andy is going by the cabbages to go into Link to the Past in the Dark World, especially now that they have that pearl. First time seeing this. I imagine they're happy that they don't have to do Misery Mire, or at least we think they don't have to do Misery Mire. Andy is heartless. Ooh, that's a good point. Andy is going to go for a fake swim which is always nice. Use this portal to get up top and what? Check catfish? We'll check catfish. Not check catfish. I'm just kidding. What? Go across, head towards graveyard. Try to wake the dead by bonking everything. Alright. And he's got more super missiles from King's Tomb, that's good. Tony did not save, so we'll be heading back after checking plasma, not finding the love they were looking for. Alright. Your ledge is a bust, unfortunately. Tony heading back as fast as possible. Andy's gonna check the ledge and find that cape is not necessary. Right. And he finds morph bombs. That's good. They have so many power bombs, I don't know how necessary it is. But always nice to have. Andy spending some money. Has decided to go into Thieves Town. Not activating the flute, which unfortunate. Zevmir, we'll see if he goes back. Alright. So Tony coming from Sanctuary, and looks like we'll be headed towards the same place that Andy is right now in the overworld. Ooh, big find for Andy with that fire rod. So Andy's got a fire rod and a bottle. So look at that. He strategically waited before going back to check Sick Kid as well as activate the flute. So Tony not as effective, but we did get to hear the anthem. I did not see anybody stand up. That's unfortunate, but you know, you win some, lose some. Yes, thanks for stepping in. Doing the salutes there. I like it. Alright. So Tony's gonna go to the overworld. While Andy continues checking Thieves Town around the dangerous grasshoppers. Crickets? They're just dangerous. Wump is a crystal. They will need those flips. Tony now has a shield, so is protected, which is good. And it is 7 crystals to get access to GT, just like it is 4 tokens, Super Metroid tokens, to go fight Mother Brain. There are other settings that are available, but not in this. Why didn't you check that? Must have counted all the items. All right. So Andy is doing math, which is impressive. So math is hard, but both Andy and Viddy apparently are way better at it than I am. So that's good. Tony got his fire rod. He's excited. He says it's hot. Nope. I'm gonna stop. Andy taking care of Steve's Town boss right now. Very nice. And gets rewarded with a compass. And that is a token right there. So 3 tokens, Super Metroid tokens for Andy. 1 crystal. He's moving along. Does seem like they are progressing at a steady pace. Not really missing much because they're just anticipating getting it as they go, which is good, for the flow of their game. And he did not do flute. He probably won't do it because he's a rebel until he does the Smith chain. I don't know if that's true, but I'm going with it. They have got to be close to super missiles. For Mother Brain. They've got to be close. There's one thing that is hard for anyone playing SMZ3, let alone racing in SMZ3, is remembering what you did or did not do or check. So it's pretty talented when you have runners doing this in a timed setting. So can't blame him for missing certain things, but also at the same time, okay, he's gonna check shovel, so that's good. Yeah, you can't blame him for missing something, but also at the same time, you yell at the screen because he's missing something, right? But nothing for shovel. Yeah, that Hera. All right, looks like you just thought about the flute. He was just tactically making us wait, which is smart, right? Builds anticipation. So that is good. We were all on the edge of our seats, or standing. But you don't get to hear it, but just know it is playing. All right. Now we have a bird. All right. Tony now has 3 Super Metroid tokens. Andy now has the power of flight. Or getting carried. We'll go with getting carried. And is going to go check the actual hype cave. While Tony gets his regular bombs, his average bombs. And he's probably pretty upset that he got that piece of heart, so that's unfortunate. Hype Cave today is going to be slightly less than hype. Some would say Tripe Cave. Nice. Ooh, we got an oof and a 0 out of 10. Ooh, that is not good. All right. It's like Andy is going to go to pod, which makes sense. He can do the chain where it does pod and Eastern because he got mirror and has the bow. So here we go. Does not have silvers though, so he will have to shoot more arrows. Iokua says that it's a 2 out of 10 because there's a possibility of mirror shield. I believe mirror shield is called lag shield in the biz, so I don't know if they want that. Silvers. Where were silvers? Oh yes, good old dessert. Dessert was not necessary so far. It is necessary, but was desert along with that lamp, so that's good. Yes, Chibbles. Yes. All right, Andy is going to do some more hovering. His first two that he did earlier went so well, he thought he would try it again. That's my bad. I jinxed him on that one. All right, again, for the first time, he's going to do a hover. And although some would consider this cheating, he makes up for it by purposefully falling a few times before he gets it. So just kind of balances out. That's nice of him, really. Oh, I did not know that. Okay. Thank you, Foz. I apologize if I don't know how to say your name, but thank you, Foz. I did not know that, so appreciate the deets, as the kids call it these days. Again, I'm sorry. All right. So Tony is looking like he's going to go up to Skull Woods, which nothing wrong with that. Andy actually getting some of that money, probably with the anticipation that he might go to Zora. Interesting, though, that he didn't pick any of the 50s that he had or the 20s that were available, but hey, no judgment here. Andy getting some more Super Metroid energy while Tony continues clearing out Skull Woods. And he is going to bomb jump, which is cool. I still think that's a cool tech. I know it's basic for a lot of runners, but still pretty cool. Andy still walking in the dark. That is unfortunate. And Tony has decided to do a quick teleport back to the beginning of the dungeon, just because we didn't get to see what he did earlier. So thank you, Tony. That was nice. Some would say that he was given a hand on that. Tony looks like he might be clearing it out. Skullwoods is pendant, or a green pendant, so there is an extra item that comes from there. I would imagine he might actually check. I just blanked on the name. Where the Master Sword pendant is, you know? So, after he's done with here. Half Magic and Fire Rod. Mothra, the Moth one, Ped, thank you, is kind of a pushover. So, should be fairly quick with this one, which is good. Mothra is something. It's obviously not this one. It is Mothula. First try. Alright. So gets the green pendant. Yes, Godzilla's next. That's where Mothra's from. Man, I'm too old for this. Andy is going further in, while Tony is looking for that last item inside Skull Woods. It's fair. Alright, I looked away for a second while Andy was starting this boss fight. I didn't see what that was. But Andy is in the middle of this boss fight. Oh, it was a key, okay. Trinex is still going, just a little piece of love on Ped, so it is nothing. So they won't need the 3 pendants, at least for the Ped. So that's alright. And Andy gets power bombs for his victory, and his 1, 2, 3. Nope, it's the second. Figure is so fast at doing that. See, told you, math is hard. All right, Andy is going to do Eastern now. Tony gets a fetch quest. That's fun. The shovel didn't give us anything, so maybe, you know, either powder or mushroom will, if we ever get powder, or they glitch it. Yeah, Skull Woods isn't really paying off so far. And if the mushroom doesn't give us anything, and the green pendant doesn't give us anything, unfortunately, that will be a time sink. But again, that's the part of the fun for the audience, not so much for the runners of do SMZ3. This doing high percentage of checks. Some of them pay off, some of them don't. All right. Andy making his way through Eastern, while Tony is doing the graveyard checks. Do the King's Tomb. All right. Although Andy doesn't have silver arrows, he does have plenty of arrows, so this shouldn't be a problem. Bow was above landing site. So probably gonna be a minute. Andy, with ease, gets his 3rd crystal, and now he's in the lead. Look at that. So just going back and forth, which is always fun to see. But where he'll go next, we'll have to see. All right, so we got fake powder, which is what you do when you use the mushroom and the Canis of Maria, which is pretty cool. I didn't know that was a thing until I saw it in one of these kinds of races. That's cool. Doesn't get anything for it, unfortunately. And he's in sewers. Tony already did this, so we've seen it. It is some love on both sides. Andy continuing without that lamp, so look at that. He's gonna be going into the... Never mind. He's decided he's not gonna chance it. $300 rupees for the mushroom, so that's pretty cool. Tony's gonna make sure he gets some magic, and then we'll probably head up top or leave. Predicting what these runners are gonna do is it's a game in itself, which I am not winning. All right.
So Tony, man, you kind of ran into this last night as well. He's gonna do his green pendant. Hopefully this pays off. Gives him something. Maybe gives him something to like go somewhere else. Okay, that could be something, right? Ether is a big deal, potentially. Maybe needed for Turtle Rock. We'll see. But it's not enough to make him go anywhere else. So he's gonna dip into Pod, but unfortunately will not be able to finish. And I didn't really pay attention, but it may be bow locked, which will be even worse. Well, it could be good because he doesn't get too far, but if it's not bow locked, he's gonna get deep in that dungeon and sink a lot of time that is unnecessary. So we'll see. Okay, so towards boss room, that's not good. He's gonna get deep into this dungeon, unfortunately. So that's all right though. It's not the end. It's just a setback. And math brings up a good point. Can do the potion glitch, which actually may be why he got the potion. So 3D chess, 4D chess. That's amazing. Can't open the wall though. All right, you just ruined that, so fine. Andy, first try, just like Tony Moldorm, so that's good. And gets his third crystal, fourth crystal. He also had Eastern Gun as well. So. All right. Tony's gonna keep doing this. Andy, you will notice, is going back into Hera, and you're probably asking yourself, but why? Why would you go back in for just one check and it be such a slow check? Well, without sounding like a smart person, let's just say, no spoilers, but let's just say last night has driven him to rethink his decisions on Hera. Sometimes. So, again, if you didn't see the race last night, it was a good one. Slightly frustrating, but it was a good one. It was a lot of back and forth of who was in the lead. So, Andy gets done with that tile room, uses a fire source to check this, and gets money. So we'll see if money drives him to go anywhere. Tony does like to bounce off of enemies a lot. I did notice that. That's interesting. In all fairness to both Andy and Tony, honestly, like they were making the more higher, chance picks. So it just, fortunately, didn't work out for him. So, all right. So Andy looks like he's gonna do desert, while Tony does as much as he can as far as pod. Thought Andy might go for desert, but he's decided not to. We're still looking for potentially a medallion. We're for sure looking for flippers. Don't know medallion wise what we need. Andy's gonna check pyramid. Looks like. I don't know if he'll dip Misery Mire. He could. He's. If I say he's gonna dip Misery Mire, he won't. So it just depends on what I say, whether or not they'll do it or not. So that's how my predictions have been going. All right. So Tony is out of pod, while Andy looks like went up to Catfish and possibly Zora. Tony kind of looks like he might be following suit. So again, they're really close to each other, and then one item making a big difference, unfortunately. And yes, we do need the mitts. It is a big deal for Turtle Rock specifically. Alright, so nothing on Zora's ledge. And Ice Palace as well. Thank you, Hex. Today, Zora is, or is not, a scam artist. Well, I think it's worth, especially for Andy. He skipped a lot of them, so. Not like he was going to do anything else with money anyways, so, you know, it's fine. Andy does love his small heart pieces. Alright. Andy is heading up to the top of Death Mountain. We just did Hera, so it looks like he'll be going to the right. Maybe doing some Hookshot Cave, other checks there. Or he will do do this one real quick, because again, predicting what they're going to do, not my strong suit. So this is one of those one-off checks that are easy to forget about, so it's good he's doing it. Even if it doesn't get him what he was looking for. Shot Cave with what knit? Can he pick it up with the Power Glove? Oh. Well, due to recent budget constraints, we need the mitts, so my bad. Yes. Yep. He might be going to Croc here. Just kidding. Again, I don't know why I said it. We're just going to pretend he who shall not be named does not exist. So. Tony, on the other hand, does not believe in that. Tony's like, you know what? This is going to win me the game right here. While Andy goes to Lower Nofrere, Tony is going to go pay a visit to Croc. And unfortunately, because he does not have charged plasma, he's going to have to do it the legitimate way. Weird. All right, Tony is going to take care of this. Unfortunately, not get rewarded right off the bat, but that does not mean that he still isn't hiding some of the goods. All right, Andy does not have charged plasma either, so doesn't look like he's going to go check out Golden Chorizo, at least yet. Andy's going to head over to the overworld and check out Misery Mire area. It was Ether for Misery Mire, so luckily so far, Andy doesn't need that. And check Checkerboard Cave. He already paid 500, so he doesn't want it anymore. That's crazy. Yeah, with Mire being dependent, I wouldn't count on him going in there anytime soon. Alright. Number play. Kind of evil, but that's cool. But Andy will get his silvers now, so that's good. Tony decides to get the mirror shield. I forget who loves that one, but whoever did, you got it. Alright. Oh, we got more than one fans of Mirror Shield in here. That's cool. So Andy's going to get his lamp and then his silvers. Just in time for all the dark rooms that he still has to complete. Like one, maybe? Oh yes, Mirror Shield. The Link to the Past, love-hate relationship. What a weird thing to say out loud. Yeah, Foss, that's true. The Rock Maze, it'll help having that in there. That's good. Tony's doing some farming. Trying to get some more supers. Andy's gonna finish Desert Palace, which unfortunately Tony wasn't able to do at the time because he didn't have the glove. So, unfortunately, some of these small items are starting to put Tony a little farther behind. Obviously, again, not out of it just yet. It just takes one item, literally, to put somebody in the lead or behind. So. Alright. So as Andy gets ready to do Desert Palace. Mr. Bennett. Also, kind of evil. But also funny at the same time, right? Alright. Andy using his silvers effectively. Alright. Tony's heading down. Yep. And he's doing really well so far. He's got 5 crystals, 3 Super Metroid tokens, so he's doing very well. Tony checking Golden Chorizo GT, and not anything that's going to help him. So. The real GT. Ivity, you bring up some good points. We'll see when Tony decides to start doing those odd checks. He's eventually going to run out of places to go, so. All right. Andy is checking. Are we allowed to call this the MM room yet? I don't remember. The stuff was over. We checked a room that looks like a character that a lot of people know about. So there's that. Checker room was nothing. Copyright room. Yeah, we could have done that. But Andy's got wave, so that helps with actual damage rather than his phaser. Okay, well, sure. I'm not risking it. All right. Andy can hold more bombs now. Thank goodness. Tony is going into Meyer. All right. Well, here's hoping. Obviously, I'm not rooting for either side, but it definitely will make it more of an interesting race if Tony finds something in Meyer. So that'd be pretty cool. So Ridley is a pendant, but Andy also has a habit of doing this. I saw him do this last night as well, where he would check these top ones before going to Ridley when Ridley was necessary, because he went back through the amphitheater. So I don't know if that's his plan to do that again. He's already checked all of Upper Norfair. I doubt he's going to Croc, so maybe that's what his plan is. Kind of looks like that's what he's doing, at least right now. Is he's going to go check out Ridley. While Tony gets a small key in Meyer. Meyer only has, what, 2 items, if I remember correctly? Yeah, so 2 items is rough, unfortunately, because there's a lot of checks in there. But, like we said, it only takes 1 item to really just change the pacing of this game. So far, unfortunately, nothing. It looks like he's going to have to check the big key room. So, it's take a break on that one. We'll see how many supers Andy farms up before he goes in. Need 30 supers to take out Ridley. So, and supers are the fastest way to take out Ridley. But he's going to go in there with 28. Ooh, see? And there you go. On Tony's side, in the big key room, we just found mitts. So, isn't that interesting? So we're going back to a race where it's possible that, they last check these things. So, one interesting. So Andy's got to find Ether before he dares to go into Misery Mire. Oh, whatever. All right, we'll see how that goes. And in the blink of an eye, Andy takes out Ridley. And although it's just for a pendant, he does get an item after it, and it is fun. But here we are. So the bow is above the ship, above landing site. Andy checked that pretty early, and that's what's kind of given him the ability to go clear out all these dungeons and progress. And so Tony hasn't checked that. He's checked almost everything around it, but he hasn't checked that specifically. And because of that, he's kind of fallen behind, right, looking for things. But as you just saw, he just picked in Misery Mire up the mitts, which was behind Ether. And so, wow. Ether, if you don't see in chat, Ether was behind Saharasarala. We won't judge me on that one. But it was basically behind Green Pendant. And Green Pendant is Skull Woods. So Andy would have to do a lot of stuff before he gets those mitts. And so once again, here we are, checking those last minute checks. So we'll see. We'll see where we go with this one. We still do need flippers, right? Logically for Ice Palace, but also for Swamp Palace. And we also potentially need Bombos. We don't know what Turtle Rock's pendant is. But Tony gets his third crystal. So look at that. Starting to catch up. We like it. That brings up a good point. Bits are better than flips because it locks a lot more. So that may drive Andy, to look for it. It doesn't allow him to go to as many places. So we'll see with that one. Andy, maybe. Andy is, well, he can't go in there anyway. So I don't know. We'll see what he does here. Yeah, Vinny brings up a good point. Tony's probably going to full clear this, which is unfortunate because he may not need to. We'll see, though. Alright, so Andy checked Golden Chorizo. Didn't find anything he was looking for. We reset back in, and now he's at the ship. We'll see where he goes from here. Gonna refill completely. Well, Tony is gonna paint a Samaria through this wall. Which, again, I know these are like little tricks that a lot of people are doing, but I think these ones are pretty cool. And in no way easy for just somebody to pick up and do. Like, you gotta practice this, and he does it. I've never seen anybody do it where they pick it up, though. That was pretty cool. Andy is gonna go use his speed booster. We have not seen this check yet, so this will be a first time that we see this. Just a bottle, while Tony gets his big key. Unfortunately, Tony hasn't found anything yet, so still on the hunt, and he's doing the full clear, just like everybody was talking about. So it's all right, though. We're kind of worried about him checking Misery Mire, right? And then look how that turned out. So that's pretty awesome. All right. So Tony's going down. First thing. All right. So far. Bombos could be here, right? And Bombos is required for Turtle Rock. So, I'm saying there's a chance. Not a good chance, but a chance. Andy is really wanting to use all his speed booster stuff because he's doing another speed booster check. And he finds Magic powder. Okay. So we know magic powder doesn't get you anything because Tony already did it. He did a fake one with the mushroom. All right. Tony's gonna go fight the boss. Eight fire rod shots, and then try to get him in the corner and do some more fire because Tony, as well as all the other runners that do this, are pyromaniacs. But unfortunately, ice does not give anything. So a go mode ice would save Andy a lot of time. Yeah, we still have a lot of onesie twosies to pick out. Again, I don't know when Tony is ever going to go above the ship. It is going to be a hot minute before he does that. But you will be able to do a lot of checks right now that Andy can't. And so if Andy were to happenstance get the mitts and still be missing stuff, you know, he'd be behind in that part. So we'll see. All right, so Andy tried, but he could not resist. He wants to go see his favorite little dinosaur? Is he a dinosaur? I don't know what he is, but he's going to go visit Croc. He was trying to avoid him, but he could not. Lizard. You know what? Right. Croc of Mayo? Well, there you go. I watched a few of these races, and I've never heard anyone say that before. So, look at that. Alligator. Alright. So, Tony is doing checks that, you know, so far hasn't panned out, but just like it was mentioned, he is kind of... And he's giving him the opportunity to catch up, right? So that's good. Lava Liquidator. And here we come with Twin Tiger giving us some actual animal facts. Why? No, that's good. Especially if you live in Florida. Oh, and there you go. In Hookshot Cave, we have Flippers, we have Bombos, and we have Red Mail. So look at that. Hookshot Cave is nice. Wow, ain't that a thing? It was Bombos for Turtle Rock. Not that it really matters. And how many times have I seen Hookshot Cave have the pendant for Turtle Rock? It's just not making it even challenging. Like, why? Baby seed, as they say. But just as we've been talking about, we really can't tell who's going to win this yet, because each of them have big checks that are one-offs. Again, Bombos was in Hookshot Cave along with Flippers, so yeah, we'll see. It's going to be interesting. Technically, Turtle Rock doesn't need to be fully cleared, but he's going to do it anyways. Because again, he's looking for Bo. He can finish Turtle Rock, so that's important, right? That's good. I imagine Tony wouldn't mind finding Charge and Plasma. I'm sure he would enjoy that one, because we haven't seen those yet. Rambler, I think, like, logically, he has to be in go mode based off of where he's at right now to do Turtle Rock, because again, he'll find the Flippers and the Bombos right next to it. So we'll see. Yep, we haven't seen Butter Sword either. But out of all the swords, Butter Sword's probably, you know, third best because has the least amount of upgrade, right? Upgrade from Master to Tempered is a pretty big deal, so. Andy, I know he's thinking. He is running his brain on where he hasn't checked yet because he is, just like somebody pointed out earlier, he is restricted on where he can go without those mitts, right? So he can only go to so many places before he is mitt locked, which is better for Andy, so that's good. But we'll see. You can check. Well, we got Plasma in Turtle Rock for Tony. Still no charge, but Plasma's always nice. We're checking the bat. Nothing for bat. Definitely have over 100 missiles for these guys, so they don't technically need charge because they have enough supers and missiles to take care of other brain. Yep, Bullet. I think where he needs to go is around, but he's going where he needs to go, most likely. So we'll see how fast he catches up. You know, so if he does go into Skullwoods, which it looks like he is, and he gets his ether, we'll see how fast he goes over to Meyer. Again, what are the chances that he goes to Meyer? You know, out of all the places. But realistically, this was looking like a fast seed. Like, I almost thought they may be done close to 2 hours. But now, who knows? You are right, Viddy. It is possible that, you know, because of a lack of options, has to go to Meyer. But you guys are right. Ether does not unlock a lot. So again, it works out in his advantage that he wasn't looking for like flippers or something like that. The mitts kind of restricted where he was able to go. So Moth didn't have an item, but Moth gave Green Pendant, and Green Pendant gave him the item that he needs. So that's where we're at. Here we go. We have charge. Although Tony doesn't have wave, he's got a beam to take care of business. So here we go. All right. So Tony took the fastest route to get back to the beginning of that room. Smart. I like it. It was tactical. All right, Tony's gonna go take care of a turtle. Hydra turtle? Yeah, Hydra turtle. That's legit. All right. So a boss down on Andy's side gives him the green pendant, and a boss almost down, partially down, half down, down-ish. All right. Tony gets his fourth and final Super Metroid pennant by finishing Turtle Rock. And we'll see where he goes from here. Andy is still missing the one item, so he's gonna go through here. Maybe? Is he still missing an item? Yep, Tony's gonna do Spike Cave, not find anything that he needs. Andy, yeah, he's still missing something, unfortunately. So he's gonna clear out the rest of this to no avail. Probably saw that mushroom and was just super excited. He's like, nothing I want to do more than go check this mushroom. Yes, Bennett, Tony would be considered in bow mode. Alright, so Tony's going to go take care of Swamp Palace, but again, he's probably going to full clear it. He has to. Yes. Again, no spoilers, but let's just say the bow is Tony's nemesis. I would say it's his nemesis because it'd be avoiding him. No, there's another word for avoiding him. Oh, bane of existence. Yeah. Almost tablet won't give him what he's looking for, unfortunately. Andy is gonna get his ether. I'm pretty sure he has seen Misery Mire, so he may know that, like, that's where he should go. We'll find out with this flute here. No, he doesn't know it yet. You know, Thargus, if this was progressive bow, it'd be a whole different game right now. Just a lot quicker and that kind of stuff. But not gonna matter. Andy. Oh, you're right. He can't flute to it because he doesn't have mitts. So this is the only way he can go. So he does know where he needs to go. So that is good. So again, why some of these runners, like I would be there probably fluting to it and trying to pick it up and going, huh, what do I do now? And just staring at it for a good solid 3 minutes before I'm like, guess I'll go around. So Andy is SMRT on this, and that's good. While Tony is going to clear out this. Here's another trick Tony's about to do. I want to say it's fairly new, but I don't know. I think that's cool. Like, how do people even find these things? It's crazy. Yeah, so those little things to, you know, make rooms faster and that kind of stuff is pretty awesome. Andy is probably a little upset, but we'll see. Tony is not going to full clear it yet. He'll probably go back in after he beats this boss and doesn't find what he's looking for. Which, going back in is slower, but he's hoping he doesn't have to, so. Yeah, Andy, he got the first try Green Gate glitch. Pretty impressive. I know there's a way to set it up and that kind of stuff. Makes traversing a lot easier. Tony got the big key, but he's not going to go back. He's just going to make a trip back in there after he defeats all the eyes. I guess these aren't eyes. These are clouds? Puffs? Puffs. Yeah. Puffs. Nice quick kill for Tony. And get him the ice beam, which I've heard is nice. So he's got the ice beam. He's almost got the full combo. I don't know if he'll get it, but he's definitely got his, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th crystal. So that's good. Yes, some would call the ice beam very nice. Andy has to do cutscene. That's where the item he's looking for is. So it was on the big key chest. I would imagine he leaves. I don't know. He usually keeps a pretty cool head when it comes to these situations, but who knows what he's feeling, because he's probably feeling like he's way far behind, especially when he pulls these up. Yeah, so he's going to continue. Because he still has to look for flippers. And I think he saw Bombos, and even if he didn't, he's still looking for flippers, so he's still looking for that second item. Yep. Now comes the question, the unfortunate question. You know, how much does Andy do other than Turtle Rock, right? And although, yes, a lot of us will probably yell at the screen and be like, yo, just go to Turtle Rock, it's that easy. Unfortunately, Andy is not going to do that. Okay, so he found the second item, so he's definitely leaving. So that's good. Tony found another heart, so he is stacked. And Andy looks like he is going up to Turtle Rock. So, this is obviously very good for Andy. Now, can we will Tony to go to the top of landing site? That's what we have to do. I realize we're living in the past, and that's going to be a tough sell, but maybe we can do it. All right, looks like Tony's going to do the Smith chain. Unfortunately, Tony honestly probably could even forget that he hasn't done above landing site, because it's just one of those checks, right? He probably has in his head, I've done all of Super Metroid, so all I got left is A Link to the Past. ECB. I appreciate that. And at the same time, ooh. Alright, flips, Bombos. Andy's like, it's go mode. Or it's not. What could he pick? What do we want? Oh, I just wanted different clothes. That's my bad. Andy is a pug. They are pretty big about fashion and that kind of stuff. Yeah, he probably was hoping for charge, or plasma charge specifically, but Andy had, I think, 60, if not more, supers and like 100 plus regular missiles, so I don't think he was in any danger of, not being able to complete it. But Yeah, so laser bridge, he's gonna go all the way through this. I don't know if he'll full clear it, because plasma was in the big key chest. So we'll see if he gets plasma. He'll definitely get ice, and he will possibly get knocked off of his platform. Bo was above landing site, which is, I want to say, the only place that Tony has not checked in all of Super Metroid, unfortunately. Andy has decided that he likes seeing this area, so he's going to try and do it more than once or twice. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. We'll see if it pays out. Bennett, yes, saving and quitting would get him to the ship faster. But I don't know if that's where he's going. It looks like he's going towards Ridley, which he has not done yet. So, unfortunately, Ridley had nothing. He's skipping wave? Well, I guess we can all wave bye to that one. I am sorry. All right. Anyways, Andy's gonna go through. I haven't seen that in a hot minute. Andy got his Canis Mario block eaten. And in response to your comment, Bullet, if I keep making these jokes, it is entirely possible I will not be here all night due to, what's the word? Mutiny? Anarchy. Voting off the island. But anyways, with that in mind, it does look like Andy will get his plasma, unless he just takes the key and runs. Exile. Quick draw. That's why you get your name. I like it. Nope, that is a good point. A marker. Apologize if I say your name wrong. He did not check the top of Rex's ship. He bounced before he did that. I don't know if that's playing on his mind though. That would be unfortunate. But a positive to this, right? Out of all of this, even if Tony does not win this, there will be a game 3 because Tony did take the first game, right? Again, I don't want to spoil how that race went. I thought it was a good race because it was a lot of back and forth of who was in the lead. Unfortunately, it does come down to a item for both runners, but that's where they're going. ECB charge is on Laser Bridge. We'll see if Andy gets that. But yeah, so I mean the good news to the not so great things happening is we will get another game. As the kids say, it is TBD. And if the kids don't say that, might be. There's your charge. There's your key. All right. So, he apparently did not want Canis Mario, which is just shocking. Or not Samario, sorry. Berna. All right. So Andy is gonna go fight a turtle with 3.5 hearts, which is kind of cool. Andy is a pretty experienced runner, so he could be all right, especially if he does that strat where he goes for the quick kill. I don't know if he's going to get it before that rotation. No, but still a lot quicker than Just waiting for it to come out, so that's good. It is a snake in turtle's clothing. That's true. Tony is fighting a big bird. Not big bird. A big bird. So that's good. All right. So Andy still has to do swamp and ice. Where Tony, after finishing Ridley, unfortunately still needs to do... Oh, wait a minute. Could this be it? Alright. Come on, guys. Let's wheel him up there. Because this will be one hell of a race if... heck of a race? Not bad. He's got it. He's doing it. Oh, look at this! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have a race. Andy is gonna go mode these last two dungeons. So, realistically, they're both gonna go mode their dungeons. Who's faster, right? They're about on even footing in almost every sense of the word. But it's just cool because we don't have to be like, oh man, Tony, just go here. We can just go, oh man, Tony went there and now they're racing. So it's pretty cool. Tony, on the other hand, though, he's not going to go to Link to the Past. He's going to go take care of Mother Brain right quick. He's going to do it with a charged plasma and 40-something supers. Could have done it with charged wave plasma, but he decided that wave was just not good enough. Yeah, so he definitely did, Tony definitely did, Eastern. I thought he went into pod? I'm not 100% sure, but either way, Andy is about to finish Swamp, which will be real quick, right? And so he's moving. They're both moving, which is just awesome because we get to see this where they're basically just going through everything as fast as possible. Like I said earlier, both these runners are very good at this game, right? Even though Andy's a higher seed, Tony knows a lot of movement tech. And so it's been fun watching him go through here. So, pretty fun stuff. Tony had to switch, unfortunately, to Plasma. That's, what is that, the pause menu of shame, going from Spazer to Plasma, but it's okay. Tony doesn't have Wave, so he's not going to try... He doesn't have Wave or High Jump Boots, so he's not going to try and do a Mother Brain skip. So, that's alright. Nothing wrong with that. At least he's facing the right way, right? Alright. Unlike in Super Metroid Map Rando, the missile refill only refills missiles in this one. So, it does not get a full refill on everything. Another weird quality of life change that you almost become spoiled and it's hard to go back. But that would just make the game too easy, so. Alright. Got the Speed Zep skip for Tony, which was done flawlessly. That is not as easy as he made that look. So kudos to Tony. Tony's got 30 supers. So what is it? It's 24 shots with charged plasma, right? So maybe like 12 you gotta do. As you will see, he's saving 15 supers for what we call the catch-up phase. So when he starts spouting out something that looks like ketchup, I don't know who thinks that looks like ketchup, but when he starts doing that, he's going to start chugging all those supers into him because that gets him right to the final phase. And now he's going to damage himself down. So the reason he's damaging himself down like that is because he's going to... Oh man, I just lost what it's called. But he's basically going to keep shooting them even while the Metroid is on top of Samus. So he just keeps jumping like that. Stand-up glitch. Thank you, Wordsayer. Sticking true to your name. I like it. But because he got damage down like how he did, and he keeps jumping like that, basically when Metroid is normally on Samus, not able to move, can now shoot at Mother Brain and make Mother Brain 3 that much faster, right? It's only advisable if you do it with plasma, but this should cut down how long Mother Brain 3 is. If you had full beam combo, you can get it, I think, like perfectly to only have like 1 or 2 hyper beam shots afterwards. So this is pretty cool. But you definitely don't want to. You definitely want to make sure that, as you see right there, Mother Brain keeps hurting the baby. I'm sorry, baby. It's sad. So that you move on to the next phase, and you definitely don't want to be firing or charging when you go to the next portion, because then it will glitch out. So now, Hyper Beam won't be as long. As you can see, Mother Brain's already pretty red. So that's pretty cool. And yes, rip baby. And while Tony has been doing the Mother Brain thing, Andy is working his way to GT. You will also notice right here, if you've never seen this before, the planet is exploding, but it's like fake exploding, thaw exploding, some would say. Nope, no one says that. But you'll notice there's no timer. The reason there is no timer is because you can still go back into Super Metroid even after Mother Brain is dead. So you can't blow up the planet and still go back into it. But you will have the Hyper Beam the entire rest of the playthrough. So that's pretty cool. I've never seen it used, like, because they needed to go back in, but the concept is cool. And I like that, you know, the developers kept it lore accurate, right? Because it would just totally ruin my immersion if the planet blew up and I still had to go back. Solsky has used it on Ridley once in a race. That's crazy. And I'm pretty sure only Solsky could do that, because Solsky is a very famous runner. So, very good runner. Okay, well, MM2 has done it as well. Spiffy's probably done it. Man. Okay, I say I've never seen it, but that's partially because I just didn't look at the screen when it was happening. So that's why I didn't see it. But now Tony's going to finish the last 2 in Link to the Past, and we've got Andy doing GT, which apparently found the key super fast. And I apologize because we did not play the guessing game. Does anybody know how fast found the key? Like what number it was? Second check? Okay. Well, another reason why this commentator is going to get fired is because didn't even do the one thing that Links to the Past has always done. So, I apologize on behalf of all of the commentating crew in this race. Not Ikir. Ikir has been on point, but just the commentators. But with Detective for my pay, true story, just like all the mods in here. Half magic and tempered. This should go by pretty quickly as far as GT goes. So you're seeing Andy tear through these rooms like it is nothing. Using the silvers effectively. So that part you just saw right there, from somebody that played this just casually, did not know you could do that. And so seeing him do that, and then this room here, all in like one go, I know it's these little things, but that's just super cool. Especially if you were a kid when you first played this, and you see that happen, you're like, oh, I suck at this game. Got it. So it is fun to see runners do that of all skills, right? Take some practice, but it's pretty cool. All right, Tony, taking care of Scorpion. We'll go with that. And getting their 6th crystal. Andy not getting a refill on hearts or magic because he is bold. Andy is not hovering. So some of you may be going, Andy, why didn't you hover this part? It's because Andy has decided throughout this race that hovering is overrated and has failed at it multiple times. So, but he did it on purpose. So if that helps. All right. So Andy is fighting a wizard that looked like a 3. Looked like he got 3 hits. That looked like 1. Nope, it was 2. So look at that. 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Andy did very well there. You should play this game more often. All right. So, Andy is about to go fight Ganon. Again, because he has tempered and silvers, it should be a fairly quick fight. Here's hoping he doesn't fall down multiple times. I have seen Andy fall down here before, recently, but he has decided that he does not want to do that because he practiced falling down so many times while hovering. Or, so what you see here, this was my fault because I spoke too soon. Andy is now going to go fight Ganon, okay? That first part you saw, that was my fault. We were just, what do they call it? Asyncing? So that's my bad. But now you will get to see Andy fight for the first time Ganon. In all fairness, Andy does play this part very, like, haphazardly. I know he's doing it like he always does, but standing in that circle and then, standing around the area that those fire bats come out. It's pretty bold. He's doing it, like I said, for the first time. And he's already moved on to the next phase, so that's good. Didn't get the glitch, but he's got plenty of magic. Needs one more arrow. And give Andy a G in the chat. I do want to apologize. We should have given Tony a G in the chat as well, because he did finish one of the bosses. But we'll just say that some of the G's you guys are given are for the left side and the right side, because that's the kind of G's you guys are. Yeah, that works out. All right. Although he gets a lowercase g for the death. True story. And a lot of you thought that, apparently. I think Metroid or Mother Brain is a little bit faster than GT, so this is going to be close, but because the key is so quickly found on Tony's side, maybe, just maybe, it will be a lot closer than we think. Yep, Tony is going left, so he should find it here pretty soon. Yeah, Andy did not refill, so he's going to have to struggle with only 50 supers and 99 regular missiles. Here's hoping. All right, so Tony found his big key, so he's about to head up. He's got the whole GT to go through, so we'll see. Andy is not picking up any of the supers. Why? Whatever. It's fine. Now he only has 47. How's that make you feel? Yeah, so I've seen Andy do these rooms like flawlessly. So you can just tell that, 2.5 hours of racing does start to wear on your ability to do, things you normally do, right? So it's okay. He'll have 40-ish supers for his fight, which isn't bad. And again, because he doesn't have high jump boots, he's not going to try and do the baby skip. So he's just damaging himself down. You'll notice that he's holding down the charge beam. I'm pretty sure that's what allows you to keep damaging yourself so much. Seen that before in a couple racers, so pretty cool. Again, those little things of tech, pretty cool. No, this is game 2. 21, game 1. Again, if you haven't seen it, you should go check it out. Ran into a similar situation. The big difference this time is that both runners found what they needed to find faster than they did in the last game. And, I won't spoil it. I think you should go watch it. Pretty fun. But... looks like in chat we have a bunch of Super Metroid racers. So there will be a lot of judgment against Andy for the next few minutes. That is unfortunate for him, as the Super Metroid runners can be kind of harsh when it comes to the tech. But it's okay, because we're all living in the past. Andy is ahead of us all. All right, so it normally takes 60 supers to take down Mother Brain. I don't remember how many shots it takes of the combo that he has, but he probably will save at least 15 so that he can, when he gets to catch up phase, just knock it out real quick. 60 on this beam. Thank you, Eddie. So Andy did count, I imagine. That's why he is just laying all these super missiles into Mother Brain. We'll find out here in a second. He did count. He wasn't 100% sure, but he did count. Something you'll notice with Andy that Tony did, but Andy won't, is that whole stand-up glitch that we were talking about earlier. Because Andy doesn't have plasma, there's really no point in doing stand-up glitch. I don't even think... Can it get through the Metroid if they don't have plasma? Yeah, I mean he's fine on time. I don't think Tony just got a 3-hit there though. That's it right there. That's pretty dope. You can do any stand-up. Okay, well look at that. You learn something every day. All right, so Tony is making this a race. This is pretty cool. Tony, this. How did he get up here so fast? I realized I was just talking, but what the? Yeah, so as you can see right here, this no stand-up thing is actually costing Andy a lot of time. Yes, so this is it. So if Tony can, as soon as Tony kills Ganon, he's done. So this is a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. This is pretty fun. See, I told you it was a good thing that you found that bow. Makes it fun. Oh, don't do it. Don't you do it. Alright, okay. Oh. Well, that was pretty lucky. Teleports are working in Tony's favor right now. Some quick teleports. He does have silvers. That's one shot right there. He gets the glitch. Oh. And what do you know, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, well, as you can see in a second. And give your GGs for Tony because he finishes with 238 on the timer. That was a heck of a race, especially that last part right there. That is awesome. GG's, that is great. And he's getting up there. He wasn't far behind. This was an amazing race, by the way. And we are joined by Tony. Hi, Tony.
Hey.
That was an awesome race, by the way.
That was crazy. I don't know what to say.
I would say I would ask. I'll ask you this, right? Where was your panic meter when you were looking for that bow again?
Well, to start, I mean, the ice rod from game 1, it was right there, so that was pretty funny. And then
true.
yeah, the bow mode again. That was I was not looking forward to that.
Yeah, no, I think we were all doing that whole yelling at the screen again thing, where we're like, just go here. What? It's that simple, right? And you eventually did. which is crazy because you made that turn in from like, oh, Tony, you know, it's looking a little rough, to, oh my God, Tony is a boss. He's coming back on this one. This is awesome, right? So,
Yeah.
good job.
Just chatting with him in chat. But yeah, when I saw the mitts, I knew it was gonna be bad. But the thing that was worrying me was I'm gonna be doing all these mitts checks. Like the good thing is, like, to get to Meyer, you have to go through Norfair again. But because I found the mitts before the bow, I was priced into doing all of the mitts checks. So I was worried that like I was gonna lose time there, but I was also thinking that if I don't do the mitts checks and, you know, I just do, like, thinking that Andy would skip Meyer. If I did like everything else, I feel like I would just be behind execution wise. So
Yeah, definitely. And Mitts, I think, was that being the locking part was good for both of you because you didn't have to go on that big of a wild goose chase, right? So that is awesome. And we're also joined by Andy. GG's, Andy.
GG's.
I asked Tony how his panic meter was looking for, you know, that last item, similar to the last race. How are you on that that panic meter, looking for that last item?
Well, I did all the checks 2 times pretty much, so more I don't know, frustrated than anything else, I guess.
Sure.
Some rough seeds for the way I play, I guess. It
Yeah,
just
I think
didn't go my way.
I think like 99 times out of 100, Andy beats me in most seeds. But these were like the 2 seeds that I just played the way that the seed wanted to, and was able to get away with the win.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was telling the chat throughout this entire thing that seeing you guys do some of the tech that you did is always awesome to see. And I realize, Andy, you're known for being really good at doing, you know, those things like the movement tech and that kind of stuff. Tony, you definitely impressed me with a lot of your tech. Andy, you're still the boss when it comes to movement. But Tony, you did really well as well. Is there, you know, like, did you ever feel? Did either of you ever feel like you were, you know, ahead or behind, or were you just doing what you had to do and pressing on?
Once I did everything, and like I was fire rod, or I was mitts and flippers from go mode like pretty early. And then I started doing everything, and nothing was paying out. And I was like, once I got to Skullwoods as my last location, I was like, well, if it's just in the front of Skullwoods, I am probably cooked. Then it wasn't there, and then Ether on Green Pen, and I was like, okay, well, maybe there's a chance still. But I was just like, not having a good time for the last like hour and 15 minutes of this one. Yeah, I don't know. There's
you were on an amazing pace until you hit that roadblock. But again, your strategy of where you were going and that kind of stuff, it paid off great until just that one item, right? That slowed down everything. Similar to you, Tony, you were on an amazing pace until that one item, and even then, you were still doing very well as far as you guys clearing out what you needed to clear out and that kind of stuff. So both of you, again, not to fanboy or anything like that, but both of you just played pretty awesome. So that was good to watch.
All right, I got fire rod at 108, and that's when I was mitts flippers from go mode, barring TR entry. So it was
When did you get the bow?
let's see. Where was the bow?
It was criteria PBs.
Oh, I got that on my way. I delayed rec ship, so I had speed when I went to rec ship.
Oh, I
So
see.
I got bow. Man, pretty early, like 30. Where is it? Yeah, 37.
Yeah, I did rec ship early, but when I got the hammer and the Varia, I skipped the top. So and when I found the speed, I was thinking like I could loop in like criteria PBs with like the top of rec ship if need be. But then I also accidentally skipped right sandpit, and I just didn't want to go back to Super Metroid for a very long time.
I cried a little bit with high jump at Shack Tool.
Oh no!
I was like, because I was like, man, unless this is one of my Go mode items, this is getting reset. And so I shed one tear as I reset my console and left high jump boots at Shack Tool.
I felt the same way about Wave, because when I was looking for bow, I skipped Door Norfair after I got the mist from Meyer, and then I saw the Wave Beam, and if bow wasn't in Door Norfair, I wasn't gonna keep it, but I really wanted it. But high jump feels much worse than Wave, I think.
At that point, I had like all of LN left, and then like a couple checks in Meridia, and that was all I had left in Super Metroid, pretty much. And I was like, I'm not gonna be playing SM for that much longer. And then, however many, an hour and a half later. But yeah, GG's Tony. Good luck in the next round. There's a map rando race coming up next that's been waiting on us very patiently. So
Well, the map rando race, just for everybody, got moved to SpeedGaming 3. So if you're here for that, you can head on over there. But again, just wanted to say thank you to both Andy and Tony for putting on a good show. Tony, congrats to you, and good luck in the next races. Andy, you still are always a part of a lot of other races, so I have no doubt we'll keep seeing your awesomeness as you progress on in others as well. So again, thank you to you both. Any last words for either of you?
GG's again to Andy, and thanks for the calm. Thanks Ikea for tracking, and thanks for the thanks to the TOs for the tournament.
yeah, GG's.
All right. Well, I have been just Bond, and Iker has been tracking. So thank you, and thank you to you all for joining us. Again, if you were here for that Super Metroid map rando, it is on SpeedGaming 3. Thanks again to everybody, and enjoy the rest of your night and or day and or whatever it is where you are. Thanks again.